Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on this schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. 2 yards is the pickup, and it'll be a Minnesota first down.
Well, the Vikings hit a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
Now, this defense for the Lions, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. They go back to the ground with Sanders.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in Week 4. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
They run with Sanders off the option.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Got an open man, finding Jefferson.
Touchdown, Vikings!
Justin Jefferson.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. In motion left comes Williams. On 1st and 10, Goff.
That throw taken in by Jameson Williams.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The center receiver in motion to the right. To throw again on 2nd down. Goff finding Williams once more, complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
The Goff and Williams hooking up there for a Lions first. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff.
Complete. This is Mitchell. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, another completion right there. And again, Charles, good time in the pocket. That offensive line on this opening drive been really solid.
They've been more than solid.
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Lions respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is. And if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes. Because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked by Tracy Walker.
And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
After the interception, here's Goff. Throwing left side, it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Back to throw, Goff. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Williams, a man in motion right.
On 2nd down, Swift.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Goff. Caught on the slant. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Another run with Sanders.
And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
They go play action with Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays them.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Here's Wilson to throw.
They quickly to Thielen here.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen with career touchdown number 60.
And the Vikings have retaken the lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle, as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces, because they got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Goff on 3rd down. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Charles, he was looking for just a short throw, kept it in range for the rare linebacker pick 6.
And give him full credit for his focus. He just kept the quarterback in his sights, and where he was looking to throw, He positioned himself perfectly to be there for the interception. He made the play of the game for his defense right there.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone. So we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Goff now looks to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there. And now 4th down. Jack Fox now gets set to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Tackle made that time by Aleem McNeil.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Wilson.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. We call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I want to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football.
There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On first down, gone. He's airing it out for Williams.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be Lions football to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
All that for a 2-yard gain, second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Goff now looking to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Goff on first down. He's airing it out for Williams. And in for the Lions, touchdown.
When you think of guys that are built to be big-arm quarterbacks, Jared Goff, he fits that mold, and he showed it off right there.
Goff looking to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Accelerating, and off he goes. Past the 20. Well, that was almost a 4-point swing. The interception, if he had returned it all the way, would have been 2 for them, but just a little bit shy.
And when it's a play like that, you're exactly right with the math. But don't you feel like it would have counted for more if they found their way all the way back to the end zone and gotten the 2? That changes the whole momentum, doesn't it?
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here. But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Going deep here for Watkins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, You're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Quez Watkins, 51 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Play action. Now Wilson. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Romeo Okwara shooting in there and dropping him for the sack. And here's Ryan Wright now
as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
That throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, He ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Goff. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. In search of redemption from the pick six. Goff able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Now it's gone. That pass caught. It's Williams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now Goff on first down. Flush to his right. And he's got it. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Swift. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Swift again. But he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. They try to throw on Vikings. They come up big down near the goal line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And some room to run now. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings.
That late touchdown stretching their lead a bit further here in the fourth quarter, and Charles' undefeated team once again looking sharp in this ball game.
And how about what they've done on offense? Because prior to this game, we didn't expect this offense to play as well as what we've seen in this one. They decided to jump out there and jump up with the rest of the team and help preserve their undefeated status.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And my goodness, another interception. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps good things can happen, not just in this game, but especially in later ones.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw pulled in by Jefferson. Finding space at the 40.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. He's going to look deep for Watkins. Touchdown, Vikings. Quez Watkins, 54 yards.
And the Vikings add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Lewis Cine. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Wilson wants to throw it. Going deep here for Watkins. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Another touchdown here in the fourth quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Now Goff. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he's got room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
That one looks like he'll throw here. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ballgame.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.